Boyfriend, 30M, has left me, 29F, and is now blaming me for him being abroad alone. We have been together for just over a year. We have always been long distance international as he was working abroad when we met. He was home for a few weeks last summer and we met online. He said he never thought he'd meet someone he wanted to be with. Personally, I still don't know how I feel about him looking to date when he knew he was leaving a few weeks later and wouldn't be back for a year. I went out to stay with him twice over the last year. Both times I've paid for my own flights, food for us both, and taken the time off work and the financial hit of doing so. He earns very good money and even complained his water bill had gone up a few pounds when I was with him. Due to COVID, we both decided it would be best that he re-sign a contract in Asia as there was no work for him back home. The initial plan was that I would join him and teach English there. This is where it gets messy. I found a lump a few weeks later and had a complete freak out. This triggered terrible irrational thoughts about joining him in the new country. He had 4 months to change his mind, but a few weeks ago he left and is now in this new country for at least 3 years. He says I've tricked him and that I never intended to follow him and that I've isolated him abroad. I feel like a terrible person. I feel hurt that he left me and that he doesn't seem to realize I didn't do this on purpose. I feel like I have to end things as a result of this. Does anyone have any advice, please? Too long didn't read. Boyfriend has moved abroad without me, now blaming me for it. He is an ass. My advice is to move on. He could have changed his mind, and still can, at any time. He is not an indentured servant. So it would appear for him that it's much easier to fix the blame than the problem. I think you need to take care of yourself with doctors that you know in a system you understand. Doesn't appear like he's along for the ride. I think letting go is quite comparable to addition by subtraction. Sorry for my harsh tone. I hope you get well soon and find someone who respects and helps you grow into the best version of you. He sounds like a total keeper. You should totally uproot your life to go get abused by him personally in a foreign country. Never thought he'd meet someone he wanted to be with. He earns very good money and even complained his water bill had gone up a few pounds. Doesn't seem to realize I didn't do this on purpose. This is alarmingly similar to something my sister went through. The guy earned well and much of his life was revolved around his job. He wanted her to live in his home country. He was frugal to the point it caused problems. He also said he never thought he would be with and live with someone, and it showed. He was very difficult to live with because he couldn't accommodate another person and couldn't empathize well. Just like this guy can't seem to empathize with your position or what you went through. Relationships get tested with issues such as health and money. He's failed those tests by the sounds of things. I think it would be way too much of a risk to travel to live in another country when he has shown to be difficult and unsupportive. He may well care about you, but maybe he's not good with people or empathy. It'll be too much of a risk for me. My sister broke up and moved back. Walk away. At least you know you won't run into him on the street, lol. My girlfriend, 21F, gets mad at me when I, 21M, am feeling sad or tired. Hello Reddit. I will try to describe the situation as brief as I can. Usually I am quite a happy guy, but I cannot always be that way. Sometimes I have a hard day or just in a bad mood in general. However, no matter what mood I am in, I always look forward having a conversation with my girlfriend on the phone, as I always feel better after talking to her. But many times, when I even sound sad or don't talk as much as I usually do, my girlfriend starts accusing me of giving off bad vibes and making her feel upset as well, even though I always make it clear that she is not the reason for my behavior. Don't get me wrong, these episodes do not cause a big argument or a fight between us. It just feels like there could be a better connection between us in this area. We both agree that we have a strong chemistry and overall our relationship is very loving, so that makes it even more confusing. So I guess, I am looking for an advice from you people on how to handle this situation and develop a better understanding. Too long didn't read : My girlfriend gets mad at me when I am feeling sad or tired during a phone call. She says I make her upset as well, when I am upset. How do I handle this situation? My man, that sounds really hard. I'm really sorry she doesn't know how to be supportive. Personally, if it was me, I would break up with her. She sounds like a fair weather girlfriend, totally down to be there when things are great but can't be bothered when you need her support. You deserve support from your partner. You deserve to be able to just be sad. When my partner is having a bad day, I hold him and listen. If I'm the cause of his feelings, we talk about it, because God knows I'm not a perfect person. Think about 10 years from now. Is this the attitude you want in your life partner? When work is hard or your parent is sick, do you want someone who will be there or tell you to stop harshing her good vibes? My advice is tell her you need someone who can support you emotionally just as you want to support them. That you really hope that person can be her. But if she's not there for that, then you need to find someone who can be there for happy you and sad you equally. I know this feelings like it could be a forever relationship, but honestly, it's probably not, and that's okay. This is your time to learn how to be an awesome partner and what really matters to you in a relationship. So for me, her actions are a huge deal breaker. For you, that's your call and there's no right or wrong answer. Just don't let fear of loneliness make you feel alone standing next to your girlfriend. That sounds exhausting, and she sounds insecure. She is in charge of her own feelings, and she needs to realize that. You should be able to be down or upset once in a while as long as you don't take it out on other people. Bring up to her. Explain that you want to feel safe enough to express your emotions around her and that they don't reflect what you think of her. It's a little bit narcissistic to make other people's moods or feelings about yourself all the time. My mother was like that. It's exhausting, and I wouldn't pick a partner that does the same thing. Bro, you're acting like a normal person. You all have highs and lows. The fact that she doesn't support you when you are sad shows a lot about her, not you. You have to tell her you do not appreciate her behavior, and if it doesn't change, you are better off leaving. There are two possible reasons. 1. She likely depends on you for being your happy and talkative self. It makes her happier. When you're quiet or sad, it makes her less happy, and she gets upset that you're not providing her emotional needs. Reliance on another person's emotions. Basically, she needs to realize what she's doing because it's not fair to you. 2. Another thing is that if she can't see you, it may be harder to tell what you're feeling. Sometimes tired, short, clipped answers may be misinterpreted as annoyance or anger or disinterest. She may not know how to react and feels like you don't want to talk to her. Either way, if it's true, tell her you are happy to talk to her, you're tired and may not talk so much but want to hear about her day. Stuff like that. If to you the relationship is worth putting extra work in, it may take some patience. If it's hard to sustain, it's okay to part ways. This communication is needed here for sure. My 28F, X, 28M, chose his best friend, 28F, over me, and now he's upset I'm moving on. I had a 2-year relationship with Andrew which ended 1.5 years ago when I had finally had enough of him taking his rude passive-aggressive best friends, will refer to her as Chloe, side over mine constantly. I gave him an ultimatum to pick her or me and he chose her, so we broke up. I reconnected with my ex Dante shortly after this happened. Dante and I dated for 5 years but broke up because he wanted to be child-free and I didn't. He's since changed his mind and we got engaged a week ago. I posted about it on Facebook and a few hours later Andrew sent me a message saying he couldn't believe I had moved on so quickly, how he always knew I didn't love him as much as Dante, how he thought we would get back together once I calmed down, how I had betrayed him, etc. Chloe sent me a long message apologizing for the things she has said/done to me and said Andrew was just being a good guy by trying to help us become friends instead of enemies. She said Andrew had become very depressed since seeing my post as everyone always thought we would end up together. She ended it by asking me to give him a second chance. I haven't replied to either because I genuinely don't know what to say. I've had a few other friends tell me Andrew is in a really bad state and he feels awful for how things ended between us. They've all asked me to speak to him to help give him closure, but I really don't know what to say. What do I do? Too long didn't read. My ex took his rude best friend's side over mine constantly and we ended up breaking up with him over it. I've recently got engaged and he/and mutual friends keeps sending me messages about how devastated he is. He thought it was taking you 1.5 years to calm down and come back to him? He sounds delusional. Don't reply, just block him. And Chloe, you don't need that crazy drama. Holy shit, I totally missed that it's been 1.5 years. Why does he still have ops contact info? You don't need to give him anything. He chose Chloe over you that 2 years ago. It's a bit too late for any sort of reconciliation. You should focus on her relationship with her fiancé. Congratulations, confetti ball. These apologies came a bit too late. You don't owe them anything. You didn't cheat, you simply moved on in life, and what closure does X need? He made his choice, so live with it, lol. He made his choice. Just wish him good luck with Chloe. Block them both. It chose to ruin the relationship Andrew had with you. Now they're choosing to pressure you to give him another chance, which would require you to break off your engagement. They're now trying to ruin another of your relationships. The difference is that now they have no power, because none of them are party to your current relationship. They can kick rocks. Tell them as much. Then block them. What do I do? Stop giving a flip about what Andrew or Chloe say / think / feel. They are not your problem. Block and move on. If friends think you are betraying someone you're not even in a relationship with, block them too.